Hello, Renegade Welders. In this period of instructions, we'll cover fit up and bead sequence. But as far as the SMAW welding is concerned, you're going to use 1/4 inch thick by 1 1/4 wide by a 6-inch piece of flat bar. Now from here, we want to go ahead and set it up. This is where you can use extra tools. I'm going to use a spring clamp as kind of an extra hand to help me set up my T-fillet. Now in order to set the T-fillet up, you're going to go ahead and take your vertical piece. You're going to use the spring clamp as an extra hand, and you're just going to go ahead and attach the spring clamp and align or fit up your vertical piece on your T-fillet. Now when you're getting ready to tack weld your weldment, you take your E7018 electrode, 3/32, and on this electrode, remember the AWS classification designates the electrode, and the width of the electrode is the diameter of the filler rod that is covered by the flux. Now from here, we want to make sure that we place the electrode securely into the electrode holder. Now remember, direct current electrode positive is what we want to run the E7018 3/32 electrode. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and use our second hand here, or our third hand if you will, and we're going to tack a nice tack on one end of the weldment to secure it. So you're going to strike your arc, whether with a scratch or a bounce, and you're going to bring the arc over, and you're going to hold for maybe a second just to go ahead and tack this side of your weldment. You're going to break the arc off. You'll come back to the other side. Just imagine that this is already tacked. You'll come back to the other side. Clear the end of the electrode because there might be some slag that might have developed or formed over the top of the electrode. You'll strike your arc, bring it over, hold your electrode for a second, ensuring a good tack, break your arc. All right, Renegade Welders, I'm going to use a little bit of soapstone to kind of lay this out on our 2-pass and 3-pass. When it comes to a 2-pass, remember we want to take our electrode on our first pass of a 2-pass. We're going to hold that electrode a little bit high. We're going to take it up here at about 80 degrees, somewhere in here. If this is 90 degrees and this is 0, we want to make sure that our electrode is being held at about 80 degrees. So 80 degrees, that electrode should be on our first pass. You want to make sure that you get a weld bead that is of unequal legs. Now, if you look at the nomenclature of the parts of a weld, we know that the legs are the 2 sides of the weld. This is the face, these are the toes. What's going to happen here is we're going to take our electrode, we're going to stick it all the way down into the root of our T-fillet. We're going to have our work angle at about 80 degrees, and we're going to lay down a weld of unequal legs. So as you can see, the leg here on the bottom is actually longer than the leg that is vertical. So that would be a weld of unequal legs. T-fillet by definition is a weld of equal legs. So how do we correct this? We're going to go ahead and take our second pass. We're going to take our electrode, we're going to stick it right on the top of the first weld at about 45 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and run in our second weld bead to go ahead and create a weld of equal legs. Now the 2-pass is a little bit more difficult because your first bead is at a different work angle than your second pass. But the good thing is that when you move on to a 3-pass, your work angle is going to be the same on all 3 passes. So we're going to go ahead and take our electrode. We're going to stick it right into the root of our T-fillet. Our electrode angle is going to be right at a 45-degree angle, and you're going to burn in your first pass. Now your second pass, you'll come in, after you clean off the slag of the first pass, you'll come in with the electrode. You're going to stick it just above the toe of your first pass at 45-degree angle, and you're going to burn in your second pass. So now essentially what we've done is we've created a weld of unequal legs using 2 passes as opposed to 1 pass like we did on the 2-pass. Now we're going to come back with our third pass. We're going to take our electrode, we're going to stick it right in the top toe of our first pass, and we're going to go ahead and burn in our third pass at a 45-degree angle. And essentially, at the end of the day, we're hoping to create a weld of equal legs. That will be your bead sequence for this weldment.